Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the host of the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. I am also the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. Along with my wife, Amanda, we investigate everything paranormal. So bear with me as I try and fix the lighting here. There we go. All right. So we are a paranormal team. We investigate, like I said, everything paranormal: ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, haunted locations, demons, you name it, we basically investigate it. We've been doing this for close to 30 years, Amanda and I have. We've been exploring mainly haunted locations, but we do a lot of Bigfoot research now too. And that's actually what we're switching over to. I'm in the process of starting to put a show together, a Bigfoot show together. Well, it's not going to be just Bigfoot. It'll be a paranormal show, but it'll be mainly focused around Bigfoot because that's what everybody seems to want to see right now. So let's get into this. We're going to do a new podcast today. And again, these are all the same podcast, but they're essentially different topics. So this topic is going to be on Dogman because it seems to be a hot topic and everybody really likes to talk about it. And so let me share my screen. Or share my screen. Watch this doorway behind me right here. If you see anything, let me know in the comments down below. That's the dog. We have 5 dogs. So you'll see dogs go in and out, maybe a cat or 2. But I'm talking about like up around the height of the light switch back there. And sometimes a little taller. There's a child-sized shadow that comes through. We actually just finished doing a whole spirit box session with them. And they were very, very chatty. Maybe in one of the podcasts in the future, we'll sit down and do that. I'm also going to be releasing some short videos, and I'll show that to you in just a second here. Okay. This is actually not where I wanted to start, but we can kind of come back here. Okay, so let's go back. Okay. So everybody keeps asking me, where can I find all the links to everything you're talking about? If you're new, because we've got a lot of new listeners and a lot of new viewers, and we're super excited to have you. Thank you very much for following our journey into the paranormal and listening to us talk. Amanda will be back on here hopefully shortly. She wants to come back on and start doing her ghost stories and maybe some other topics soon. So you won't just have to hear me all the time. Amanda may come on here shortly. Speaking of Amanda, and I apologize for the lack of podcast for the last week. Between my work and trying to get stuff done around here, she's going to be having a surgery. I don't want to talk about it because she doesn't want it really out there. But it's a really good surgery. It's going to be very healthy for her, and it's going to help her in the long run. And, if you follow her channel, I don't remember what it is. I think it's One So Very Cute or something. Anyways, she'll be documenting her progress, hopefully. So, anyways, if you're on our audio podcast, real quick, I know everybody's like, oh, why do you go into so much detail? But people aren't able to find this. So go down into the description. All of our information is right here. If you want to go on the audio podcast, we're on multiple podcast platforms. We're on like 60 different platforms. But these are just some of them that the audio podcast is on through speaker. So anyways, all of our links are to everything is basically here. You can listen to our podcast. And again, this will be on the YouTube channel too. So don't worry. If you go into the description down below here, let me just show you real quick. So this is our newest short video. I was testing out the Tesla coil. So you're welcome to come on here and see this. So you can see on here as well. If you're watching, if you're listening, again, just go to the description. Down here in the description is all of the different information for all of our different links, our social media, our video platforms, our Facebook page, Manscaped, and all If you come over here to the Manscaped page, this is our sponsor. I would highly recommend this package here, the Performance Package 4.0. It's a really good package. They also have stuff for beards and stuff like that. I might buy one of those as well in the future here and review that for you as well. So, anyways, again, I don't want to spend too much time on here. If you'd like to come over here and check out our newest video, it's here under the Deep Woods Paranormal YouTube channel. That's linked down below. Okay. So again, I wanted to get into Dogman. And for some of the new listeners and viewers on here, you're like, what is a Dogman? I've never heard of that. Let me see if I can blow this up. Okay. So supposedly this is a real photo. I'm sorry it's so small, but it's already pixelated. I'm guessing somebody blew this up as well. So essentially a Dogman is it's pretty much a werewolf. Basically, it's a very large dog or wolf-like creature that has a head of a dog or wolf or coyote or whatever you want to call it. Has the the muzzle and everything with the very sharp teeth, the long pointed ears, and the head of a dog. The body mainly of a human. Now I've heard of dogmen having like more like dog-like legs, and I've also heard of them having more human-like legs and feet, and basically just having really big feet, just like Bigfoots. But they usually have at the end of their feet, at the end of their toes, there's usually claw marks, like a dog. So again, take this all with a grain of salt. I don't believe I've ever seen a dog man. I could have, but I don't remember. I can't tell you for sure I've seen one. I've seen a lot of Bigfoots, but I don't know if I've seen a dog man. Bigfoot and Dogman pretty much share a lot of the same areas, same territory. Let me go in here. You guys have seen my Bigfoot map. This is just my pins. I've been pinning things over the last couple of years. I used to have California pinned. It was like from San Diego all the way up to the northern part of California, into Las Vegas, not Vegas, but into Nevada, into Arizona, into Utah, Colorado, New Mexico. I mean, there's just pins that came all the way across here and went all the way up here. And then there's pins kind of dropped in all over here. So all over the United States, they're seen. Some are more secluded areas. Some are more places you'd never expect to see a Bigfoot. But anyways, that's not what I came on here for. So let me look at this. Okay, so this is the Dogman sightings. This is somebody else's map. This is not mine. So this is interesting that people have reported it in areas where I've had Bigfoot sightings. Let's just zoom in here real quick. So we're looking at Glendora area. I don't know. Maybe this pen's out of place. But above Glendora, California, is Mount Wilson, and there's a big, huge wilderness area here. And then basically above that, there's Mount San Antonio in California. And this is in the Angeles National Forest. I know there's Bigfoot sightings over here. And then over towards the Thousand Oaks area. These must be really, really old sightings. And I mean, I could show you I don't know what happened to all my Bigfoot pins from California. I never deleted them; they just disappeared off my Google Maps. So, anyways, if you look at this, imagine this being 100 years ago, 150 years ago, when there wasn't any like people that lived here. This would have been forest as well. As you can see, all the way around this one sighting, there's greenery. There's mountains. There's mountain ranges that are not basically, there's state parks and stuff like that. So, again, like Bigfoots, they're sometimes seen in residential areas, or seen in industrial areas, or seen in places where people wouldn't think you'd see one. So I'm just seeing these pens basically for the first time as well, up towards San Francisco, towards Sacramento in California. I have heard of them being in Nevada. If you follow, oh God, what is it? Place called Skinwalker Ranch. Supposedly dogmen are there as well. They call them skinwalkers, but they could also be dogmen because they're always seen as a werewolf-like thing. So, anyways, as I zoom in, you can see more of my Bigfoot pins. But this is just interesting that somebody took the time to actually post this and leave it public. Because here's Texas, and here's a bunch of places in Texas where they're also saying, let me move that out of the way. So we're looking at the Google Maps, and if you're watching this podcast on Rumble or on YouTube, you'll be able to see all of my yellow pins. This is only Bigfoot sightings. I removed my personal pens because I do work for the railroad and I have all kinds of other pens that I can't share with anybody. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, look at all the, they're all in where Bigfoot sightings are. And there's a lot of clusters of Bigfoot sightings in this area, but there's also a lot of, next to where there's Bigfoot sightings, there's also Dogman sightings. And I've heard that to be the case. I hear that they live in the same area and they possibly fight over territory. So let's go back here. Okay, so this is a website, and I'll link it down below for you guys, both on the audio and video podcast, so you guys can see this. I'm not going to link the map because I don't need anybody knowing all my private places that I go or anything like that, or using my pens. If you'd like to know an area, comment down below or contact me. All of the information is down below. You can find it. Okay, so let's get back into Dogman. So there's a map where people can submit their Dogman sightings. You'll notice that in Missouri, it's prepared with stories and this strange creature. Here are six along with a brief description of what people saw. Okay. So I kind of chose this because I just want to get this podcast started, and I want to talk about these different sightings because I think they're interesting and stuff like that. Again, you guys need to take this with a grain of salt. I don't expect anybody to believe in these creatures until they've had a sighting where they can say it couldn't be anything else but. And you've heard me say this a million times. So I have a saying, if you're new here and you're just listening now, you have to have a sighting where you can say it couldn't be anything else but, and you can put Bigfoot, you can put UFO, you can put whatever in there, Dogman, cryptid, whatever. You can't just be like, I think I saw something, or I think I heard something, or I had some branches snapping, or I heard something walking. I heard a scream. I heard this. You have to be able to take that and say 100% it couldn't have been anything else. And that's really hard to do. That really basically, takes down a lot of the sightings and stuff. So let's get into this. Pike Country, Missouri. It says no date given. Two friends were adventuring in the woods near DuPont Conservation Area when they saw something. It was walking from left to right across the road slowly on all fours. Now, Bigfoots do that too. So, and the juveniles look a little bit different than the adults. It says it was slinking or kind of slithering, for lack of a better description, like kind of cocky, seeming to have a mange like mane type as the rest of his body was covered in short hair. So he's saying it looked like it had more of scruff around the neck. And the eyes glowed reddish but changed because of the different types of lights that were shining on it. So I imagine this had to be, was probably some kind of a street light, and essentially it was crossing the road, and as it crossed the road, it may have turned and looked different ways, and as it did that, the eye shine color probably changed. But that's kind of cool. So yeah, they had a road crossing. We'll check and make sure this is not on the map. So I'll go back and do that later. Okay. Here's another one. Hawk Point, Missouri, 2016. A woman was on her way to her mother-in-law's house to pick up her husband on a remote gravel road when she said, "I just got off the blacktop and passed the big farm when this thing jumped out from one side of the road, from one side of the creep behind the farm, and then ran across the road in front of me to the other side, which was a field and woods." She said, "I stopped the car. First, I thought maybe it was a donkey, but it was too big and too fast. And the tail looked more like a dog. I tried to make sense of it. It was gray, so it wasn't a deer or a cow, and it wasn't a horse. There were no hoofs, beats. It was quiet and fast. I haven't seen anything again, but there are reports of dogs missing in the area and killed." So that's interesting. Maybe they came into the farm area to steal chickens or maybe kill a cow or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, interesting sighting. Well, again, I'll check to make sure that all these are on the map. So okay, let's look at this. Pulaski County, Missouri. Again, no date given. It says 2 experienced outdoorsmen were in the woods when they could hear something tracking them. When they say they saw, let's see. Let me try this again. 2 experienced outdoorsmen were in the woods when they could hear something tracking them. When they saw something. It was about 6 feet tall with pointy ears and a long snout. At this point, I have to say neither of us have given any creed to the Dogman, Wolfman, Grassman theory. We just thought it was a mistaken identification of a Bigfoot or bear. We could hear something moving around and a few short growls. So supposedly dogmen, they bark. Supposedly. Again, take all that with a grain of salt. I've never experienced one to this point that I know of, unless I mistook it for a Bigfoot, which is possible, but not probable. So yeah, I mean, it could have been a dog man, and they said they didn't think it was a bear. So I wonder if some of these sightings are maybe something else besides a dog man. Maybe it could have been a bear. I mean, bears have been known to walk on all fours, and they've also been known to walk up on their back legs like a human, and they can walk for quite a distance like that. So, and then 6 feet tall. Yeah, a big bear could be that tall. Anyways, again, this is up for your guys' judgment. I mean, you guys can make up your own mind as to what you think about these. I apologize for butchering these, but some of the wording is a little strange. All right, so it says Meramec, Meramec, Meramec Springs Caverns, Missouri. Okay, so this is interesting. You got a cavern, which supposedly Bigfoots and stuff like to hide out in caves and stuff like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but whatever. Again, this is up for interpretation. A woman driving near the cavern saw something strange cross the road in front of her at night. She said it was dark. The road had just turned into gravel. There was woods on one side and a creek and a commercial farm on the other. The dark gray thing came from across the creek, and jumped across the road. She said I could hear it make its. See, I could make out its back end. I think that's just supposed to say I couldn't. I couldn't make out its back end, but definitely saw a tail like a dog's. So again, this is why I'm having such a hard time reading this. I think that some of the words are not put in here correctly, so bear with me. And again, you guys come on here. I'll link this down below. You guys come on here and check this out. So it says St. Louis County, Missouri, 2015. A man was walking. Was sorry. A man was taking out his garbage late at night when something sprang out of the darkness. That's when my light hit the wolf-like creature. I froze instantly. The creature was about 20 feet away, and I could hear it clearly. Could clearly see that it was crouching. When our eyes met, it turned to its right and fell on all fours and leaped my neighbor's driveway in one jump. If it's a single lane driveway, a single car, that's got to be at least 10 plus feet, I would imagine. Oh, here it says the driveway is about 12 feet wide. The creature was about 8 feet tall and maybe 300 pounds. Interesting. Now, Bigfoots can do that too. They can supposedly jump really far distances. So, all right, let's see. Chesterfield, Missouri. Sometime in the 1970s, a man saw 3 strange beasts feeding on something in a field across from where he was. He said, I saw 3 of them eating something big and bloody in a field. They saw me, stopped eating, and followed me back to the farm when I got out of there. This happened more than 50 years ago. It was forbidden to talk about. So yeah, I mean, even now, people that have even any kind of paranormal experience, the fear of your ridicule is ridiculous. They officially, people feel like they're going to get ridiculed if they come out and talk about these things. And that's why on our podcast and all of our stuff, I always say there's no judgment. You guys can make up your own minds what you think, but I don't want people being ridiculed or whatever, witnesses, because you weren't there. You didn't see it. You didn't experience what they did. Maybe they interpreted something, or maybe they misunderstood it. I do it all the time. I have people come contact me and say, hey, I reviewed your video and here's what I found. And I appreciate the positive feedback. Hey, Matt, I think this could have been a this or it could have been that. And so I look into it further and it's like, okay, yeah, cool. Okay, now I know what that is. But, this is a learning process. And, when you come out and you see something or experience something that you just have no clue what it is, between fear setting and possibly or adrenaline kicking in, sometimes things look differently, feel differently than they actually are. And and a lot of the time these people that are coming forward are very credible witnesses. The people that don't come forward, there's a lot more people that don't come forward and talk about their experiences with anything paranormal. So I always ask that people just be respectful. If you don't believe what the person's saying, that's great. That's awesome. That's your opinion. And, just kind of, you can voice it if you want, but please be very careful about how you say it. Put yourself in that person's shoes. How would you feel if somebody was sitting there just telling you you're complete, whatever, and you don't know what you're talking about, and that's fake or blah, 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 So anyways, all right. So yeah, we looked at this already. This is pretty cool. This is the map of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There aren't any reports down in Mexico. I'm sure they are. And it'd be interesting to talk to people from Mexico and Guatemala and stuff like that, because I'm sure they have stories to tell. And but this is basically just where the map is shown. I'm still documenting Bigfoot sightings, and I'm trying to put everything in here. Some of these are probably, I have other sightings of UFOs, possible UFOs, and other things as well. I have my own Dogman sightings posted in here from people that have contacted me and from other states and other locations and said, hey, I had a sighting here and this is what happened. And it's really awesome to talk to them. So if you'd like to be a guest on the show, we always love to have people. We'd love to interview you. And again, there's no judgments. We'd love to hear what you have to say and share your story and tell us what you experienced and stuff like that, because of course, everybody on this channel, we have a really awesome channel. You guys are awesome. I can't tell you how awesome you guys are. Not just this channel, but audio, video, wherever you're listening to this, Facebook. We always get really nice comments, and I really appreciate that, you guys. Even if you think it's not something that I think it is, and you're just giving me feedback, I appreciate everybody being so polite and so kind and so understanding with their feedback. So again, feel free to comment down below. There's no judgments on this channel. Unless you're spamming the channel or something, you're more than likely your comment's going to get put up on whatever platform it is. And unfortunately on the audio podcasts, it's really hard for me to figure out where all the comments are coming from. So I think I miss a lot of them, and I apologize for that. But there's just so many platforms that it's hard to keep track of what, if we actually get a notification, where it came from. We try and respond to everything. If we're not responding to you, feel free to reach out via email. My cell number's down below there. You can text me, you can email me, you can come on to our Facebook account, you can private message me. There's so many different ways to get a hold of us. You can go through our website, and we have a chat box there so you can communicate with us. And we've done that with several people, and we've really enjoyed it. So anyways, guys, this is getting a little long. No, I don't want to share. I want to go back to stop sharing. All right. So stay tuned for that new video. I just did that'll be coming out Wednesday. I just did a whole spirit box session with this thing. And actually, I left it on after. Okay, did you guys see that in the hallway? I think the dogs did. Okay. So yeah, be watching that. It's only about a 5-minute video. I didn't want to make it too long. I'm now addicted to this thing. I mean, I sat here for an hour while I was editing videos and left it on, and I had a full-on conversation with something, a couple of different entities and stuff like that. So in the video, there's some crazy stuff that happens. So be sure to watch that. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We do try and post 3 to 5 to 7 times a week. There's always new content coming onto our channels. I'm trying to do more shorts for you guys, short videos. And again, the podcasts, we'll be kind of rotating through them as we go. I try and do at least 3 to 4 to 5 podcasts a week. With everything going on and Amanda's surgery looming here in a couple of days, it's just been very difficult for me. I've been spending a lot of time in my own car and another car because that's what I do for a living. I drive for a living. And I can't really, I do have this on my phone. I'm able to do a podcast on my phone. I'm just worried that the quality is not going to be so good because I have a lot of noise around me. A lot of the time I have a lot of trains going by and stuff like that because I'm always in some kind of yard when I'm just sitting. So I apologize again for the lack of podcasts. We will be getting on them quickly here in the near future. And, we'll try and keep you guys, keep the podcast coming for you. The TV show, I don't know when that's going to start to work. I did get the IR flashlight. Unfortunately, it didn't come with a battery. So I'm waiting on a battery. There will be some gear testing for that. You guys can watch that if you want. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me jaw on for however long it's been. I appreciate you guys, and we will catch you on the next one.